So welcome to On the Morning, the 7-minute devotional to start your day. If you have a Bible, we are in Psalm 131. This is part 3 of a 4-part series called The Path to Peace. If you missed part 1 and part 2, or if you ever missed one of the live Own the Mornings, you can always go back and watch it on our Own the Morning Facebook page. If you haven't liked that, make sure you do. But all of these teachings are posted right there on the page, so you never have to miss one. This is part 3. We're in Psalm 131 this morning. David is talking about the path to peace. See, he wrote Psalm 131 in a time of great distress in his life, which, to be honest, was most of David's life. He's told us in the first 2 words, "O Lord," where the path to peace starts. The path to peace starts with prayer. So friends, before you vent on Facebook, or before you call somebody else, or before you look to other things for peace, turn to prayer first. The path to peace starts with prayer. And then in David's prayer, he told us 3 skills he had learned that helped him arrive at this astounding conclusion: I have calmed and quieted my soul. David was teaching us that our peace is up to us. It's not on our parents, it's not on our spouse, it's not on our kids. We can own our own peace. David says, I have calmed and quieted my soul. So yesterday we looked at the first thing that David learned how to do. He said, my heart is not lifted up. David learned the art of humility. And the art of humility was the first thing that helped David calm himself. Again, watch it. If you haven't already, make sure you watch it from yesterday. Now, the second thing that David says in his prayer, Psalm 131, is this: my eyes are not raised too high. My eyes are not raised too high. Here David is talking about the importance of his gaze. He said, is my gaze looking at the right place? When I stretch in the morning, that's part of my morning routine, there's this one particular pose that I have to remember what the instructor says. Keep your eyes fixed on a steady spot. If I take my eyes off of that steady spot, then I fall over and the stretch is no good. It disrupts my peace. Well, the same is true for us. If we have our eyes looking at the wrong place, it will disrupt our peace. Let me give you 3 areas that we tend to look at, that we ought not to look at, that can disrupt our peace. First is this: looking too far into the future. If you just joined us, we're in Psalm 131, talking about the path to peace. The first place that we can look is too far into the future. Looking too far in the future is when we do this. When there's something out there in our future and we say, when this happens, then I'll be at peace. When the kids move out of the house, when the engagement is over and the marriage has begun, when I'm done with this cycle of work, when fill in the blank, when we're always looking so far out into the future and we think that thing is going to bring our peace, that we can never have peace right now. Jesus himself addressed this. He said, don't worry about tomorrow. Just take care of today. Tomorrow will present enough of its own problems. Today has enough of its own problems. Focus here. Another place that we can begin to look that we ought not to is too much in the past. And so if our vision was like a physical picture, it would be this. See, that's frustrating, right? Because you guys are trying to look at me and I'm looking back. And sometimes God is trying to look at you and you're looking back. Because God has something that he wants for you right now, and it's not in your past, it's in your present. And so we look too much into the past, and it disrupts our peace, because when we're always looking to the past, we're thinking, well, what could have been, or what might be, but we think, it's all ruined now. When we look back into the past, sometimes we look at our past mistakes, and we look at our past sins, or we look at people that have hurt us, and we're so focused back there that we can't see what God is doing right here. The Apostle Paul wrote this. Actually, it wasn't the Apostle Paul, it was the writer of Hebrews, so whoever that was. I press on. No, this is Apostle Paul. I press on. I leave what is behind and I press on to the future. Friend, leave your past where it belongs. Learn from it, but look ahead. When we're always looking back, it disrupts our ability to have peace. A third place that we look, that we ought not to look, is too much to the left and the right. So imagine if every morning when I did the On the Morning, instead of looking into the camera at you, I just did this the whole time. Eventually you would quit. That's how some of us look at life. We're always looking to the left and the right. Where's the next action? Where's the next thing? What's the next relationship? What's the next excitement? What's the next venture? What's the next fill in the blank? And we can't just be at peace. And the constant moving of our head, the constant shifting of our gaze is disrupting our peace. David in Psalm 131 says this, my eyes are not raised too high. In other words, my gaze is focused at the right level and the right place. So what is that right level and right place? Well, Paul teaches us in Colossians. In Colossians chapter 3, he says to look at Jesus, or to fix our gaze and to look at Jesus, because that's where all the action is. You see, the gospel actually solves all of these gazing problems for us. See, I don't need to look too far into the future for my peace, because I know what my future is. It's eternal peace with Jesus. And I know that my only true peace will come when I'm in eternity with him. But now I need to learn how to have peace in the present. My future peace is already taken care of. It's eternity with Jesus. I don't need to look back all the time and be constantly looking behind me, because I know what happened in my past. Jesus forgave whatever sin is back there. Jesus is going to redeem whatever brokenness occurred. And if there is any vengeance that needs to happen, vengeance is his, not mine. So I don't need to look into the past. I can look right where I'm at right now. And when it comes to looking to the left and the right, Jesus is where the action is. And so I need to trust that my good Heavenly Father has given me everything I need right now in my life. All of the activity, all of the action. So I'm not constantly looking left and right. I'm just looking at Jesus. So friend, fix your eyes on Christ. May your eyes not be raised too high, and may that produce peace. So you can say like David, I have calmed and quieted my soul. This is part 3 of a 4-part series. If you missed part 1 and 2, you can go back to the Own the Morning Facebook page, watch part 1 and part 2. Guys, today you have owned the morning. Now you can go own your day. We will be back tomorrow morning at 7:30.